Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of Sport Talk. I'm your host Evan, and today I'm joined with Connor, Joel, and Lucas, and we have a baseball episode for you guys, the first baseball episode on the podcast, and it's going to be a good one. We are talking about the Tatis suspension, the MLB trade deadline, Aaron Judge's spectacular season, and some World Series predictions. But before we start, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sport.Talk Podcast, and we'll just dive right into it. First off, the most recent news, which was also the most surprising news, was Fernando Tatis got suspended 80 games because he tested positive for clostridium, which was some sort of steroid treating ringworm. So he was obviously recovering from multiple injuries earlier in the season with a broken wrist, right?
Yeah.
And then this on top of it, so we're going to have no Tatis for probably 2 years now, which is kind of disappointing. And I was shocked, honestly. Like, I didn't think like Tatis would be the person to like do something like this, and so it was shocking to me and probably everybody.
It definitely was something that, like, I was just driving around last night and it popped up on my phone, like, I was shocked, like, you're getting this close to this, like, him returning. It's getting close because he was set to come back in September, and it's just, you see that and you're like, wow. Even after they built that super team that they have.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just right after the Soto trade. Like, it's literally like a week, not even a week later. Like, Soto's played like 5 games with the Padres. Yeah. And Tatis was already back in AA, like, you know, getting his rehab games in. And then that happened. Like, that's tough for the Padres because they said, like, the team, if once we get Fernando back, like, we should be the team to beat.
Yeah.
Which is, like, they have a good case for, like, them and the Dodgers, you know, especially since they got Soto. But that's just it. Like you said, it shocked me. Like, I was not ready for that at all.
Yeah, Twitter blew up.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Yeah, that definitely like hampers like their like World Series chances, like you were saying, because they were like banking on Tatis coming back.
Yeah,
and
like they traded their whole farm system for Soto to have these 3 years with Tatis, Machado, and Soto, so where they could. I mean, they traded their future away to have these 3 years to try to win a championship. And this takes away one of them, and it'll probably be like 50 or 60 games next year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, I mean, they could start off terrible. I mean, you just never know.
Exactly.
You know, and they have the pitching staff now to go deep. Like, this was, like, their next couple of years. And with Tatis out, it's tough. Which I don't know if he was taking them to play better. Because he obviously hasn't played in, like, over a year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's not like he's been playing and going on a tear and then tested positive. Like, he had a double and triple and, like, AA, which he would do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It was more of like a recovery type thing.
It was probably for recovery, which is still wrong.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he said he didn't know, but that's what everybody says.
I mean, we see that everywhere in sports, like especially with DeAndre Hopkins, where he's like, oh, well, my trainer said it was okay.
Yeah.
And the fact, like, with that, like, the Soto trade, like you said, they're trading, like, Abrams, Mackenzie Gore.
Oh, yeah, like, I mean, literally their whole future.
Like, just those two, they've already made impacts on their team this year, and that's, I mean, Soto's most definitely worth it, don't get me wrong, but, like, this whole Tatis thing is going to damage that.
That's what made the Padres so dangerous, is they had a very good team that, like, disappointed last year, but they had prospects coming up that in the next couple of years, they looked like they were going to be right on par with the Dodgers, and it really hurts them, because the Dodgers look like they're going to be here for a while.
A very long time.
Very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially that they're in the Dodgers division. That's what kills them, is that they're in the Dodgers division. Like, they see the Dodgers 15, 20 times a year.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, people, like, dread, like, the one series with the Dodgers. They have, like, 4 or 5 series with the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's what makes it so hard to come out of that division. I mean, the Rockies, like, they have no chance.
Rockies and the Diamondbacks.
Didn't they sweep the Dodgers? Or not the Dodgers, the Padres in their first...
Oh, dude, they've won, like...
They've
won, like, every series against the Padres this year. Like, the games haven't even been close.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the Dodgers, like, your top 4, you got Mookie, you got Trey Turner, Freddie, and then, I mean, Will Smith.
I mean,
like,
your 9-hole's Cody Bellinger.
Exactly.
I mean, he's won an MVP 2
You've always
years
been
ago.
high on Cody.
Yeah, well, he was an MVP 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Literally, your 9 batter won MVP 2
He's
years
having
ago.
a really rough season. But, I mean, he's still Cody Bellinger.
But his time is always at the end of the year in the postseason. Like, last year, he had a great postseason. You can't lie about that. Because he did.
He did.
I've
He had
never
a
been a
really good
Bellinger guy.
Well, you should be because he won an MVP and Rookie of the Year.
That year between him and Yelich was insane.
They both
Yeah.
been terrible since, but
Exactly.
I mean, that was a really good year. They've both been hindered by injuries, so I mean,
Yeah.
he broke his kneecap, and Cody just has shoulder problems. But still, I mean, but the Padres, I mean, without Tatis, there's no way they're coming out of that division. I mean, with the
It's going to take a lot more. I mean, don't get me wrong. Kim is filling in nicely for.
really, yeah,
Kim surprised me. I wasn't expecting anything.
Yeah, he's been
productive.
above replacement level.
yeah.
I wasn't expecting anything productive out of anyone other than Tatis. And don't get me wrong, I like Abrams and everything, but like Kim has been very, like you said, above the level
Yeah.
of just being a fill-in guy. He's definitely proved something.
I was watching something that said that when Tatis came back, they were almost going to put him in the outfield because they needed another outfielder because Kim was doing so well at short.
Exactly.
And Tatis led the MLB in errors last year, or like second or whatever he was.
Yeah.
And he was first for a while.
He's the best worst defender.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's like a Derek
Yes.
Jeter type defender.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I saw that they said they might put him in the outfield because Kim was literally like
that-
outplaying.
He was taking.
That would
he was
actually
taking
make
some reps, yeah.
that would actually make sense because you got Profar out there, you got Grisham, Trent Grisham,
I've always loved Trent Grisham.
you got
Yeah.
I mean now you got Soto, but like just having Tatis out there too, that would have been
Yeah, they
insane.
have so many
Yeah.
weapons.
Oh yeah.
And even Profar this year's like his power numbers have elevated so much from last year. He has
Yeah.
been a freak too.
Because he's never been known as really like a power hitter. He's
No,
just been
but he's
a
like
good
last
fielder,
year he only
speed
had
type
like
guy.
5.
Yeah.
He only had like 5 home runs last year.
Yeah.
This year he's tripled that, and they're not even done with the season yet.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
on base percentage as a team is like immaculate. I mean, they're always going to have runners in scoring position every game,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
that's what makes them so dangerous.
And this year was almost their year too, because once they got Soto, if Tatis came back, because you got to think Machado before he rolled his ankle, like he's just coming back from that still. Before he rolled his ankle, he was playing at MVP level.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
literally
it's a
first
great
place
season.
for the
Yeah,
MVP
Exactly.
voting. Like,
And
he
nobody was
playing
talking about it.
unreal.
Exactly.
I know.
It was.
Like,
It
I mean,
was insane.
every game he was like 2 for 4. Like I mean, extra base hits all the time. I mean, like every
Well,
game.
like look at that like just those 2 or 3 2 series that they played the Reds. Literally every game, it was like you're hearing Machado hits a 2-run home run right off the bat in
Yeah.
like the first or second inning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That series, the Reds would always go out in front, and then Machado would just bring him back in
Exactly.
with an extra base hit.
Exactly. I mean, that's he was doing that to every team. It wasn't even just the Reds. The
Exactly.
only reason we heard about it is just because it was against our hometown team.
Exactly.
He was doing that against every single team.
Exactly.
Before he rolled his ankle, he was literally batting way above 300.
Yeah.
Was almost leading the league in extra base hits. I mean, he was, and obviously his defense is just unreal.
Yes.
His
Oh
defense
my
is
goodness.
ridiculous.
He's a top 3 third baseman in the league.
I mean, when you're the only guy ahead of you is like Nolan Arenado, who literally makes plays that we've never seen. Like,
Yes. Like
he's making plays just like Arenado.
He
So
is.
that was, I mean, I think that's what also the Padres are looking at. Like, you don't know if Machado's gonna have as good as a year next year. Like, baseball is so hard that like when you have a really good year, like you want to make capital on that like really good
you
year.
want to take
but-
full opportunity of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
taking
Especially when
place.
you're in
You
division with
capitalize on
like the Dodgers, and the Giants are no slouch either. They're always
They've had a
hanging
rough
in
year.
there.
They've had a very rough year this year.
but they're
they're-
still tough to
they're-
play.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're always
Yeah.
tough to play.
Yeah, they're like annoying.
Yeah.
When
Yes.
you expect to come out of that with like a series win, but
Yeah.
you know it's going to be a grind.
Yeah, but you know you're going to have to play well to
Yep.
do it.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason that their record is not as good as we thought it'd be is just because of the division they're in.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it's like last year, their pitching rotation was the best in the league,
Yeah.
and they lost a couple key parts, but they brought in like
Rodon.
Rodon.
And
Yeah.
Rodon. Yeah.
And while they've been good, they haven't been at that level where they can rely on their offense, only giving them 3 runs.
Yeah, exactly. I
Exactly.
mean, last year they were winning 3-1, 3-2.
Mhm.
And Logan Webb hasn't been as good this year as he
Logan-
was last year.
and neither has Alex Cobb.
yeah.
Cobb's been like with Cobb. I feel like also with the Giants, there's been a lot of like unlucky experiences this year. Because like I was just looking at Alex Cobb, his like actual ERA was like 4 or 5 something, but his like expected was like a 2 something. Like that's just like it just goes to prove like the season that they were having right now, full of just unlucky events after each other.
And even like Rodon wasn't as good as they expected because they were already trying to move him, and they just signed him last season.
Yeah.
So
This
they
is
were
first
already
year with him.
they were already trying to move
Well,
him.
and that's my thing. Like just with this trade deadline, it was that like them and the Red Sox. You didn't know what they were going to do.
You didn't know if they were going to blow it up or try to make a run.
Yeah, like you brought up the Red Sox. They traded away
Vasquez.
key pieces, and then brought in like veterans. So like
Tommy. They brought in Pham, and who else did they bring in? I forget.
It was a catcher. Because they got
yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
I forget his name.
I hadn't heard of them before.
Oh, but another
walk-off.
thing about the Padres though is they also got Drury in the trade deadline.
Yes.
Who has been playing unreal for them.
Yeah.
Playing really well. Actually, every Reds player that's been traded has been playing really well.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like Nate Quinn and like all those
That
guys.
one day when like Suarez hit like 2 home runs, Castillo pitched like a
Winker hit a bomb.
one like hit game, and then
Winker hit a bomb, and literally that was against the Mariners. Like I mean against the Yankees.
Yeah.
Like, it's the best team in baseball, and they like
and Drury
the
hit
Reds
like 2
guys.
home runs in his like Padres
Well, in
game.
his first
Hit Grand Slam.
Yes, first game Grand Slam. But another one, I feel like that's getting really Drury's getting undershadowed. Yeah. But the other one, you can't forget about Josh Bell.
No.
Josh Bell is getting.
He was like one of the just like kind of like a throw-in.
He was batting above 3. He's batting above 300 this year.
Yeah.
And like when I don't get me wrong, Soto's definitely the big piece.
Yeah.
But like the fact that you don't even like acknowledge everything you read was like, oh, Soto to the Padres. You didn't hear anything about Josh Bell.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
and he's like one of the best switch hitters in baseball.
You gotta think if none of them get hurt, and if you get Tatis, still the first baseman is gonna be Josh Bell. Second baseman Cronenworth, who's been really good the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Shortstop Kim, who like we've been talking about, has had a really good year. Third baseman Manny Machado, who's been up in the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Left field, you put Tatis out there. Center field,
Grisham,
and right field Drury.
Yeah, and
Literally,
their pitching rotation is
Soto,
right there.
So I mean, you
have so
Drury,
much.
I mean, that is just unreal.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's
then-
whoever. Basically, you have one outfield spot for whoever's hot,
Mm-hmm.
and they have 3 guys who can play unreal when they're hot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And their other 2 are Tatis and Soto.
And you're always going to have like 2 to 3 bats off the bench if you need it.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I mean, if Tatis, man, that's why it's such a big deal. I feel.
yes.
Yeah.
And you know the funny thing, like I feel like this is a good story. Like the whole Drury thing, like he was getting like minor league offer deals at the beginning of the year, and the Reds were the only like team willing to give him like a major league look.
Yeah.
And now he was a big
addition and trade deadline.
yes.
That's why
to win a World Series.
Exactly.
Baseball is such a unique sport because it all depends on the environment and just how the team puts you in situations, like with runners in scoring position or trying to develop walks here to pass the baton.
Yeah.
And Drury does so good at that. He fits into wherever you need him to be.
Exactly.
The Reds were thinking of like possibly extending him.
They were.
That's what drove me nuts because I wanted them to extend him. I was like, he's having a great year. Obviously, something's clicking in Cincinnati to where he's playing well.
Yes.
And the fans love him, so why not keep him? But no, they're trading him.
But at the same time,
I'm
that
okay
was
with
probably the most value they were going to get out of him.
Exactly.
Because
It's
you
a
can't
high
bank on
value.
the fact that he's going to have that same season next year.
Exactly, and it's not like they're a contending team this year to where they
Yeah.
needed to sign him to win
Exactly.
next year because they were going to make the playoffs. Like, no,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you literally blew it up right before.
And
So
especially like the prospects that they got with the Castillo trade. I mean, their infield is going to be stacked for years to come.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you got to put like some of those in the outfield. So at the same time, it's like hard to see him go, but you get such a big future. out
Yeah,
of
that's
all
what
those
I
trades.
was. I wasn't too upset because like Connor said, like Drury is probably at the peak of his like value, and so
Yes.
trade him now. And then we have 3 shortstops who very well could be top starters in the MLB, and they all can't play shortstop, so you can just move one of them to third, and then that just opens it up
exactly.
so much more. But I mean, it is bittersweet seeing him like the very first game hit a grand slam and like another home run. Like that's
He's playing really well.
Yeah.
So
Tatis being out definitely changes the landscape of a lot of things for the
and that changes the
Padres.
Padres like year.
Outlook.
Yeah, it's just
It
huge.
changes how they affect this next offseason. Because do they go out and sign a piece just for this year while Tatis is suspended, or do they save it so that they can extend more of their younger guys?
Yeah, or
Well,
save
and-
money for Soto.
And also, like, I mean, like we talked, like, I know he's going to be suspended, but if you fully trust Kim, I mean, you still got Kim. You can still work with him. I feel like that could be their plan.
Machado can also play short a little bit.
That is a good point.
He played it with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you got to think, would they have made that deal for Soto if Tatis had been suspended before?
Oh, I don't know.
That's the tough part.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they had C.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
He showed flashes, but he was kind of up and down.
Yeah,
you could definitely tell that he was a rookie.
Your first couple of years in the league, you're trying to figure out like what type of hitter are you.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw that with Aristides Aquino. I mean, if it was a fastball, you expect it to be in the seats.
Yeah,
but
anything else?
I thought
anything off speed is.
Yeah, I saw a statistic where it's like 85% of the time he's seen off speed, and if you're not capitalizing on that, then.
Another thing with the Padres is you got to think. They gave him literally a 14-year deal, gave him max money, and this is his second time problem with the PEDs. Yep. And he's being an idiot, being on the motorcycle, getting in a motorcycle wreck.
Yep.
Like you basically you gave him the biggest deal you could give him. You said that you're going to be our franchise guy, right? You're our future. Yep. We're going to give you everything you want and you're going to be a Padre for the rest of your life. And what he's done with that since is had a PED, 80-game suspension, and broke his wrist on a motorcycle accident. That is all he's done since.
Yeah, and like I saw where now when he's suspended, they don't have to pay him in that time.
Yeah,
but still, I mean that's a lot of money into a guy that you don't know if has he been taking these PEDs for a while. I mean,
I guess has he been good because he's been taking them?
Yeah.
And so I mean it's a really tricky situation. There's like a very high ceiling for the Padres, but then there's like a deep low where everything that they did this season could be for nothing.
Yeah.
But like you said, it has to be a big relief for them that like Kim's becoming like a serviceable like shortstop while Tatis is going to be out. Because if he wasn't, then they would be in a lot bigger trouble than they are right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the Padres, we already talked about it. They traded for Juan Soto. Biggest trade in MLB history, most likely.
Absolutely.
I mean, they got, like we said, C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, Robert Hassel, a lot of players in that deal, and obviously the biggest being Soto, and they also got Josh Bell. But we kind of already talked about it. That makes them contenders still, but they still have the fifth best odds to win the World Series.
Oh yeah, I mean they've won this. They've been winning this year without Tatis. It's not like they're like below 500. I mean they're 8 or 9 games above 500, and in that division, that's really good.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still a really good team. You don't want to face them because obviously the Reds. They just ran through the Reds like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So there's still a team that you don't want to face. But you always think about that potential he could have had with Tatis because he literally was just about to come back.
He moves them from a great team to a spectacular team.
It moves them from a team that competes with the Dodgers to a team that
can
beat the Dodgers.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Absolutely.
What did you think of them throwing the Hosmer situation where he had the no trade clause and then he was like, I'm not playing for Washington, so then they had to move into Boston and then throw Luke Voigt in there?
I think I think the whole Hosmer thing. I mean, good for him standing up with his no trade clause and everything. And I feel like get your money and go to a better situation.
Yeah.
And I feel like he'll be. I mean, I think he'll be solid over in Boston. But
he's a solid player.
Yeah, I mean, you can when he goes out there, you know that he's going to be at worst replacement level.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen flashes in the past where he goes off for 2 series, and he is the whole reason you won those series.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, ever since he got left the Royals, though, he hasn't played at that level he was at the Royals.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Red Sox really didn't really have a first baseman anyway, so
no,
I mean, that was good for them. They picked up, but again, like we said, we don't really know what they're doing with their team. They've been trading people, but picking up people. We don't really know. And they've been playing bad.
Yeah, because
baseball
they were contending, and they were 17 games back, and I think they're probably still around there.
Oh, yeah, they literally lost 28-3.
And it doesn't help for them right now. Their pitching is so.
Chris Sale.
Now
that's just a story in itself of the pitching, dude. That is just.
He only pitched 5 innings this year, and he's done.
It's just unreal. I feel bad for the guy because before he had Tommy Johnson, he was He was basically like the lefty DeGrom. He was
Yeah.
throwing like upper 90s, low hundreds from like way out here. Like left on
the
left.
release point, yeah.
The left on left was impossible. You're not
Exactly.
hitting that left on left. Even in MLB The Show, you're not hitting that. Like it's impossible to hit left on left.
No, yeah, I'm swinging every time.
Oh, it doesn't matter where the
Doesn't
ball is.
matter.
You're just trying to hit
It's
it.
in the dirt.
So I mean, if they had that sale right now, I'd say they're 6 or 7 games above where they are now. Right? Maybe they beat the Yankees a couple times, so they're even more games up in their division. And then they could have added maybe one and then they got Hosmer.
Yeah.
So they could have been, way better than they are this year if they would have had Sale.
I was talking to Stacy before this. I was like, baseball is so unique because it's a team sport, but relies on individual performances.
Yeah.
And like Chris Sale can be a factor of taking this bad team, especially with the defense that they've been playing, and turning them into a competitive team.
Exactly.
Yep.
And like I feel like a lot of it is just the confidence that the defense has. I mean, pitchers are having to make very insane pitches. Like they're going to have to hit
Strike
the
out
corners,
12.
Yeah.
Like,
because
I mean,
I mean that what was it, like a week or two stretch where they averaged like 2 errors a night.
Well, like
Bad.
when they played Cleveland, it was like I was watching those games, and literally it was like 2 or 3 a night. It was like simple, easy plays that you'd expect like a 5th grader to make.
exactly.
They were making those mistakes, which show. I mean, that shows like something. Like even that pros make those mistakes, but like it's unreal, and it doesn't help either that Trevor Story's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Trevor
He hasn't
Story
really
is
done much.
he's a great defensive player.
He was on an
he was.
unreal run, too. Hitting wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before he got hurt.
Oh,
I
trust
didn't
me.
even know.
And
I had him in fantasy. And, oh,
And then they still have like Bogarts, who's one of the best shortstops in the league, and still have Devers at 3rd. So like
Exactly.
they have
Exactly.
like the infield should be good,
yeah.
but they're just.
What happened with Jackie Bradley Jr.? They cut him,
They
right?
cut. They
No, he's
designated.
he's still there.
They DFA'd him.
And that's
I think
just
somebody
did
picked him
recently.
up.
Did they just do that recently?
I think somebody picked him
I
up.
thought they put him on the taxi squad.
Because the last game I watched, he was in right field.
I
I
think
could have
that
swore they DFA'd
they
him.
definitely
they-
DFA'd him, but I think that he may have.
So DFA that means like they released him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they designate him for an assignment. They're still in their system.
Yeah, the Blue
just
Jays
call
picked him
him
up.
on.
Blue Jays did.
The Blue Jays picked him up, so they DFA'd him, and that means
Just
that he
like
was
a
available to
like
pick up.
Yeah, yeah.
Dallas
They have a
Keuchel has
few
been like
days.
that all year.
DFA, you have a few days to decide if you want to
Now.
Yeah,
full
and
on
Robbie
release him,
Cano
trade
too.
him, or send him down.
Yeah, he's turned into like Robinson Cano, dude. That poor dude. He's been on like
No,
3
literally,
teams
he
and
went-
DFA'd every single team.
He was terrible with who was he with? The
Mets.
Mets.
He was with the Mets.
Oh.
He was with the Mets.
went
Terrible.
to the SpongeBob team, and then hit like 400. Went to the Padres, and then got DFA'd like 2 weeks later.
And then he
got
went to
picked
the
up again. He
Braves.
got picked up by the Braves, and then played like crap and DFA'd him.
That's when you just need to retire.
Yeah,
If you're that old and that accomplished, and you're playing in a SpongeBob jersey, you need to quit. You need to just go home. You need to just go home.
Don't get me wrong, he was a freak, but
He was a freak with Jeter.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeter's been retired for
Yeah,
years.
'cause
PEDs.
he's also been on PEDs for
Yeah.
ages.
Yeah.
like, and that's what kind of like scares me about the future of baseball. Like a lot of people says that, like the steroids save baseball, with McGuire and Sosa.
Yeah.
but it's
I
also
guess
hurting
it
us
did both.
tremendously
It
now.
saved and ruined it.
yeah.
I guess like viewer wise, like the Sosa McGuire battle was probably top rated.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, because you want when you go to a game or you watch a game, you want to see home runs, and you want to see the
Exactly.
good players hit
Yeah.
home runs.
Exactly.
But then if you look at it, like they were cheating the entire time.
Yeah.
it's
So
all
what
different.
do you think of this take? I've seen this. You let PEDs you let some of them be used, but you also don't check as much for the sticky stuff.
I
for
agree.
Pitchers.
There has to be a certain
a
an
balance.
extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have. You can let them have PEDs and then not grip the ball.
Yeah. So what happens is it's basically there's no one you can't have an advantage anymore hitting with because if Fernando Tatis was playing right now and he was taking PEDs, he had an advantage over everybody else because he was
Absolutely.
taking PEDs. And a pitcher who uses sticky stuff has an advantage over pitchers who have dignity and don't use it.
Exactly.
So maybe you make that legal to where you can do it for both sides, so that now everybody's on the same playing field, everybody has the same resources available,
Yep.
and then they can do it. Because I mean, as much as I hate to say that, because you really do hate to say that, because you want to see like everybody perform at the God-given ability they were given and not above what they should be playing.
It's inevitable.
But it's inevitable because people still will do it, and they will get the big like Tatis got the huge contract because he played so well. But maybe Kim is not taking them, and he's playing just a little bit worse than him. But he doesn't get the big contract and the huge money and like all the fame that Tatis gets because he has dignity and isn't using it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's baseball trying to compete with like basketball and football.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing a lot of viewers like decrease, but yet you see like the sports up and coming like soccer and lacrosse. You see a lot more fans gravitating towards that because they just see baseball as an old person sport.
Yeah.
I think Garrett Cole would like that.
Garrett Cole would like that.
He would like that.
And he was a Cy Young when he had that.
He's done nothing. He's been just shelled.
He's the worst ace in the league.
Yeah.
Like every time.
It's crazy because the Yankees are literally.
They played the Mariners, right? And he just got absolutely shelled.
Oh my word! Yeah, that's when the Seattle Reds destroyed him.
The
Seattle Red Legs.
Yeah. That's when they destroyed him.
Even Garrett Cole, like earlier this year, they were playing like before like Baltimore was like really gravitating and building up. Mm-hmm. Like they were shelling him. Yeah. Like Twins were shelling him. Don't get me wrong; he's had his great games where he goes out and he'll strike out 11 and go 7 innings. But like, he's getting shelled.
Like you can obviously tell that he was using like the sticky
stuff.
His spin rate.
Yeah, his spin rate decreased dramatically.
Like 300, 400 spins.
Like
which is
that has to be the most like drastic change.
It was one of the most.
I mean the spin rate is basically the difference between the ball spinning going underneath the bat and not spinning enough to where it's hitting the bat and going out.
Yeah, and like if you can't see the laces on a baseball, it makes it so much
harder.
harder.
Oh my word, yeah. I mean, the more it spins, the less you can see. So I mean, that was So I don't know. I just think the PEDs and the spider tag. I don't know. I don't know what you do with that.
There should be a universal. There should be a universal substance, like not make it overpowered.
Yeah, but I still feel like people are like, okay, like maybe if I take something that's better than the substance given, but I still can test positive for the substance that's allowed. You know what I mean? It's just, it's going to be hard to find a happy medium, but because you want to see everybody at the same level, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna.
There's just so many variables. I don't know. Yeah.
It's gonna be tough for sure. Josh Hader trade.
Whoa.
Also got
this one was a big wow
from the
me.
Brewers.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the Brewers got.
They got Trevor Rogers, who is ahead of him in saves.
Yeah, he's a good closer.
Which is crazy.
But I also, don't get me wrong, I think Edwin Diaz is like the top, but I think Hader is probably the best closer in the league.
At his best.
You're not touching Hader.
No.
Yeah, at his best, but you got to think. The month he got traded, his ERA was 12.
Oh, it was bad.
His ERA was 12.
He was getting.
He was
rocked.
blowing saves. He was giving up tons of runs. I think even the Reds were scoring on him.
I don't.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's bad.
Yeah,
I don't know if has he even got a save.
Yeah, the Padres haven't really won as of recently.
I know he blew a save the other night
with the Padres.
Yeah.
So that's what you got. Like, I don't know, because I mean, I don't understand why the Padres would trade their closer that was already like very serviceable and was an all-star. Like he was literally an all-star at his position.
And my thing was like both of them at the time of the trade, both closers were struggling. Like neither one of them were doing any good.
Yeah.
I think it's more to free up space for Devin Williams because
I like Devin Williams is a stud.
His stuff is just gross.
Yeah, so I guess they're probably thinking that maybe Rogers can be the 8th inning guy and Williams can be the 9th because they weren't able to put Williams.
Hader?
Ooh. 32, right?
Yeah, something
he's
like that.
Older.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was coming up on a contract year too.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it makes sense. It makes sense for the Brewers, I guess.
Kind of.
But the Padres, it made no sense. I feel like the Padres just got trade happy and just traded for everybody they could get.
Mm-hmm.
They saw Josh Hader, bro. Like you had a serviceable guy. Like it makes sense for like the Yankees or like somebody who doesn't have like a specific closer, like the shutdown guy to get him get Hader or something like that. Doesn't make sense for the Padres to trade for him. They already had a shutdown guy.
Exactly.
Well, maybe they feel more comfortable trusting Hader at the end of a postseason game than they do Rogers.
That
could be it too.
Definitely could be.
Yeah, the playoff experience is definitely
just because of Hader's like experience and just where he's he's at.
And if you look at Hader's numbers like the past 3 years, this is the only time he's ever had a bad month.
Yeah, he's been
You know
the
what I mean?
best closer in
He's
baseball.
literally been the best closer in baseball the last 2 years, and this is the only bad month he's had. So I mean, I guess I don't know, but that was crazy to me. I was shocked.
Well,
Yeah.
my thing was like that was one of the like the first. That was one of like the very first like big trades of the deadline too, and then after that it started just spiraling. After it was like
Got the
Castillo,
ball
It was an
rolling.
icebreaker.
it was like Castillo, and then you have a little pause.
Yeah, it's like a little
pause
like
in the
random
action.
dudes you don't really know.
Exactly, and then you have Hader.
Cast
And it's like, boom.
considerations.
Yeah.
And like Soto, and then
And it's like just like worked its way. It's like Castillo, a couple little trades. Hader, like, oh my gosh, then boom, Soto. And the thing, the
And
two
then,
biggest
like,
trades
Montes.
both went to the Padres.
I know.
Literally, they're literally banking on the team they have right now.
Yeah.
They're banking on Tatis.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's crazy.
what's crazy is Soto is only 23,
And they still got
he's
him.
already a top 5 player in baseball, and they have him for at least 3 more seasons.
Exactly.
And if they extend him, then they have 2 23-year-olds who are arguably top 10. I don't know
Players
what
in
people
baseball.
think Tatis is anymore.
He's a
but
top 3 or 4 shortstop. I'd
yeah,
say.
but you have 2 players at the top of their position at 23 years old. I think they were more than willing to do that, and
Oh,
then
absolutely.
they just have to hope that Hader will be better than he was before the deadline.
Yeah.
And I guess now with Tatis out, they're just gonna have to do without him for 80 more games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think what I forgot to say earlier about Soto, what makes him dangerous is not only can he hit the ball out of the ballpark, hit it in the gaps and run, but his plate discipline
Yep.
is unreal.
Amen.
I mean, even when he's struggling, say in a series he only gets 2 hits, he's still only getting on base 8 or 9 times because
Yeah.
you're literally walking him. You know what I mean?
He knows the strike zone probably more than the umpires do.
Oh yeah, for real. Like the umpires, as MLB the show would say, they look at him, you know, if it's strike or not.
Well, if you look at his walk totals, he's first by like 30 walks. Like the next closest is like Max Muncy, and Soto's got over 90, and Muncy's at like 60 something.
Yeah.
That just shows it. That just
Yeah.
shows the discipline he has.
Well, and I think that's why he was so valuable. You know what I mean? Because say you put him 2-hole, right?
Yep.
So you either gets a hit or gets walked, right? His
Yeah.
batting average is
Very-
always about 300.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have MVP level Machado right now, Tatis, Josh Bell, like I mean, all these guys after him. I mean, that's why I think like they were. That's why he was so valuable. Like that's why it was such a big deal for Soto. That's what makes him so good.
And the fact he turned down all those like contracts with no
Okay, but
mads.
if you looked at
If
the
you-
contract that the Nationals
was
gave
like-
him,
Totally
Down.
backloaded.
Yeah,
14
backloaded.
years, $400 million, whatever. But per year, he was like 15th in the league money wise per year. And he
Really?
saw that.
Yeah, the PPP.
So I think he wanted the $400 million, but like an 8-year, $400 million. Like
Yeah.
take 6 years off of that, but give me the same money.
Yeah.
I think that's more of what he's looking for.
I can
And
see
plus,
that.
I also probably wanted just to leave the Nationals because they had an
They're
owner
horrible.
switch, and they were really looking kind of bleak.
Yeah.
But what kind of was crazy to think about like the Nationals is they 2 years ago won the World Series
Yeah. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
with like Scherzer, Turner, Soto, Rendon.
That was after they got rid of Bryce Harper, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of those guys
Which is
are
nuts.
so in the last like 3 or 4 years they've lost Scherzer, Turner, Rendon, Harper, and Juan Soto,
And yeah. Which
among others.
Turner is arguably the best shortstop in baseball. Soto, arguably the best outfielder. Harper
hitter.
won MVP last year.
Yeah.
Rendon's been hurt, so I mean, I guess that's been
That one's
Yeah,
been
but I mean he's
But
still a good
Scherzer's
player.
still-
Scherzer is literally the best pitcher in baseball.
Oh,
right
he's
now.
a freak.
He's literally his ERA is below 2 now.
And the fact that he went to the Mets to be the number 2 guy.
That's
No,
what's crazy.
it's crazy that Jacob deGrom is not. He's not even the best pitcher on the team right now,
Exactly.
and that's scary.
Did you see his
Yeah.
debut? He threw 17 strikeouts and then or something
It
crazy.
was 12. He had 12
12
strikeouts in
strikeouts in
5
5
innings.
innings.
Yeah, that was
5
something crazy.
innings.
And then he got taken out, and he was he was upset. He threw his glove. I was like, dude, you just had an amazing
They give him 1 run.
Yeah, I was like,
literally,
an
he had-
amazing day.
He had 15 outs to get in those 5 innings and struck out 12
of them.
yeah.
I mean, that just shows how good he is.
Yeah, I mean,
And
the
he's
Met-
not their number 1.
I know,
The Mets could be scary. Just
Their pitching rotation is
especially with Edwin
nuts.
Diaz.
Oh, and yeah, I mean, so you get DeGrom goes or Scherzer goes 7. You have, I mean, and in the 8th inning usually is you see a bullpen guy, and usually you have to see him for 2 innings to get on him, but you only see him for 1. And And then you got Edwin Diaz running out there with the trumpets, and you know you're going to lose. You just know.
That's the best thing for baseball is the closer entrances.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, it brings back the element of just the importance of closing the door on a game. Mm-hmm. It's so hard to come in a game after your team has done really well for you, and you got to protect a 1 to 2 run lead, and it's pretty hard.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the closer, that's what makes the Mets insane, because you've seen teams have really good starting pitchers, they'll go 7, and then the bullpen blows it.
Yep.
Or the offense doesn't get them enough runs.
Yep.
The Mets, I mean, obviously that was the Mets last year, but the Mets this year have not had that problem.
Mm-mm.
Like, they've had really, Francisco Lindor's had a much way better year than he did last year, right?
Yeah, Pete Alonso, too.
Pete Alonso's had a way better year this year.
Marte's
Vogel back. Yeah.
Marte's a freak. I mean, even Nimmo leading off for him has been
Tyler
amazing.
Naquin's been crazy for him
they
since
got
the break.
Naquin
Naquin's just been hitting bombs the whole time.
His first 3 hits were triple, double home run.
Another Reds player.
Yeah, another.
Kind of forgot about that guy.
Yeah,
I forgot he was on our team.
And so, to throw that offense in there with that pitching staff, I mean,
They could be scary.
it's literally you face them in a series, you're going to lose the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to hit Scherzer, you're not going to hit DeGrom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and the thing, people kind of could pounce on the Mets last year because they wouldn't give them run support. All they needed was 1 or 2
Yeah,
runs.
Scherzer, DeGrom would go 8 innings, go 2 runs, they'd lose 2-0.
Exactly.
Yeah. But this year, it's not the case.
It's not the case at all.
And especially with Edwin Diaz, just last year he was good, but this year he's really shown what he can be.
It's completely different level.
I hadn't heard of him before this year.
I know, I
didn't either.
I
mean, I knew some, but
I was on a bunch of Mets meme Twitter. He was not a good closer last year, and it's just I don't know if it was just the change of the team, change of how they used him, but I mean,
it was
if
the
Mets scored 2 runs, I mean, it's an uphill battle.
Oh yeah. When you go into a Mets series, you're scared.
Mm-hmm.
You're scared that you're saying you're going to lose a series because out of the 3 games you're facing DeGrom and Scherzer. So basically, you have to have a miracle to win one of those. Some dude, say DeGrom walks 2, and then you hit a 3-run bomb, you win 3-2. That is your only hope that something crazy like that happens.
Yeah, DeGrom's going to make maybe 2 or 3 mistakes pitching-wise, and you have to capitalize on that. And if you don't, then you lose.
And you either got to hit a 95-mile-an-hour slider or a 103-mile-an-hour fastball. You know what I mean?
So baseball.
That's his mistake. His mistake is, oh man, I left 103 a little high. Tried to touch that, or man, my 97-mile-an-hour slider left a little hard of the plate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But even that, I know we've been talking DeGrom and Scherzer, but they still got Bassett. They got Tajon Walker. Mm-hmm. Their starting pitching rotation as a whole is just
probably the best in.
It's one of the best in baseball easily.
Do you think that the Mets are the best team in New York right now?
Right now,
they're
yes,
hot,
because the Yankees.
Yes.
But come playoff time, I don't know. They're both so good.
They're both
Subway Series.
The Subway Series is going to be
in the playoffs.
Subway Series playoffs could be.
That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. That'd be great for baseball.
When was the last time that happened? When Jeter was there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which that'd be so cool. And I mean, I don't know. You're taking that serious because, obviously, you're gonna say the Yankees got that firepower offense and they've got some decent pitchers, but in that series, your first 2 games, you're seeing DeGrom and Scherzer. I don't care how good your hitters are.
And then even Bassett in the game 3, it's
man, you win a game, man, you got to face Tajon Walker.
Yeah, Tajon Walker's been really good too.
He's been
every time I see that he's in I always forget he's on the Mets, and every time I see him, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's their 4th.
Yeah, and we were talking about Garrett Cole getting shelled. You don't
you don't know what you're getting from Garrett Cole.
Frankie Montas helps a lot, but
what's lefty's name?
Oh, Montgomery
and
well,
Nestor.
He got traded.
Nestor.
Montgomery's not there.
I meant Nestor. I was talking about Nestor.
Nasty Nestor.
I mean, he's been good for him this year, but it's not like he has overpowering stuff. He's just been really good at hitting his spots this year.
Yeah, he's a pitch to contact guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's going to be a great series if it happens.
Oh, that'd be so sweet. That'd be amazing.
Hey, speaking of the Yankees, Aaron Judge having one of the best seasons I've seen in my lifetime.
Oh my word!
Oh, absolutely. There is no doubt or denying that he has been. It's unconscious. the stuff that he's been able to do.
Word.
Yeah.
And it's not even just like his hitting. He's playing great defense too. Did you see him rob that one? Literally, he robbed literally a home run. And he's like, I get he's 6'7", but literally, easy. He made it look so easy.
A lot of people focus on his arm and just his ability to throw players out with accuracy, but like the range he can cover in center
He's
field
so
now that he's
fast.
playing there.
He's so quick.
He's very good.
He's an
with those
anomaly.
long strides, man.
Yeah, and you got, like you said, he's got the crazy good arm. Right, that's what made him an outfielder, because he was such a good arm. But then now he's playing really good defense. Basically, he's like what Joey Gallo. The best Joey Gallo can play is basically basic Aaron Judge. And you got to think, the only thing that people were harping on Aaron Judge about at the start of the year was like, oh yeah, he's hitting all his home runs, but his batting average is 250. Yeah,
It's at
you
3.
can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
He's above 300.
It's at 305 right now.
Yeah, it's it's at 305. He's hit like what 46 now,
Yeah,
right?
he's averaging 305, 46 home runs, 100 RBIs, 1.88 OPS.
I mean, he's already at 100 RBIs. That's unreal. Like,
Yeah.
100 RBI
That's
season
unheard of.
is
And what's
huge.
even crazier is, so the most home runs in 113 games in MLB history, one Barry Bonds, 48, two Aaron Judge, 46, tied with Babe Ruth, and one above Mark McGwire.
Barry Bonds was that PED guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was
That's
McGwire.
crazy. What if Judge was on PEDs?
That would be the biggest news in baseball.
Oh, I know, but no. What if he starts using PEDs? Then he's probably at like 50 something.
But they'll probably hit 70.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the record again?
70.
73, I think.
73. How many games is left?
That's 113. So you
there's
got around.
probably about 40.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'll definitely get over 60. There's no
Yeah.
doubt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he's 4 away from 50.
50, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he's literally hit every time. Like, he's hit one every game, it feels like.
Oh yeah. I mean, after that
Like,
break,
I get a
it's-
notification, like,
Every day.
Aaron Judge, 45th home run, 46th home run, 47. Like,
You
I
had one
get,
yesterday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get.
Yes.
I literally get a notification every day. He's just on a different level.
Yeah. Just I mean, it just completely. There's nobody close to him.
No, he's
No.
he's undoubtedly the AL MVP.
And like,
It has to be.
Not even a question.
no way he's not.
Yeah.
There's no way.
like even the outs that he's getting are like hard.
Hard.
outs.
They're
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, like, his issue in the, like, obviously was like injuries, like he would
Yeah.
get hurt, but also his, like, he was either he hits the ball out of the park or he strikes out.
Yep.
But like this year, he's hitting it out of the park every time, it seems. And
Yeah.
I think it's his adjustment. He's been more open to the plate and he's willing to hit it the other way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's hitting it the other way with power.
Well, yeah,
You
he
don't
has so
see.
much power, which is a great adjustment for him, because basically he's doing what Stanton did.
Yep.
It's like you have so much power, just hit the ball. Like, don't try to hit 700 feet.
Yeah.
Just hit it, because it's gonna go out. Especially at Yankee Stadium. That's why he has so many backside bombs, right?
Yeah.
Because the right field
Little
is so
League
short.
Stadium.
Literally so short.
Yeah.
And if you watch his highlights, like I watched, he had like one game where he was like 4 for 5. You know, he had like 2 doubles and 2 home runs. His doubles were off the wall.
Yeah.
And like he had games at Oriole Stadium where like literally, if the wall was not moved back this year, he'd have 3 more home runs than he would right now.
A mini green monster.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's 480 down the line. Or not 480. Like it's like 420.
Yeah.
It's really
You gotta really get into
yeah,
one.
when I'm
hit
playing
that.
MLB the show, I always try to hit it in there so I can get a triple.
Yeah, exactly.
When I'm a triple away from the cycle.
Like you'll hit like an absolute tank on the show and like it hits off the wall or it gets caught. Like
that's
you're like,
the
that's the
worst
worst because you're like
Yeah.
last year that's a home run. Like
Yeah,
it's a no doubt
Austin
home run.
Hayes runs it back and catches it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh come on. Like,
Cedric Mullins robs me in a moment.
I know. Oh, that's
so much because he's so fast.
He is so
so
fast.
dumb.
But yeah, Judge is having a ridiculous season. I mean, it's probably one of the best in baseball we've seen in a long
Oh yeah,
time.
he's the reason they win some games.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, his RBIs alone are the Yankees' run.
100.
I mean, he's brought excitement like back to baseball. Like people are like, what, like
Tuning in
what,
just
what
to
did
see
you say?
Judge.
The baseball ratings were like higher those last 2
Yeah,
weeks.
the last 2 weeks, MLB stadiums have averaged 35,000 in attendance.
Yeah.
Like that's unheard of nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like the steroid era. Like people like watching home runs.
Exactly.
And it's weird because like this year, like they with the humidifiers and everything, we haven't seen near as many home runs in the past. But the fact that Judge is still doing this while everybody's dealing with that, it's just speaking to the volume of the season he's having.
Yeah.
So one thing interesting about Judge is he's on a contract year,
Yeah, that's huge.
and so like I'm assuming the Yankees are going to extend him because they would be probably stupid not to after the season he's going to have.
Yeah.
But for me personally, like I mean, this might be obvious, but like I feel like he's gonna kind of go back down to earth after this season, like because historically, like everybody that's on a contract year goes nuts just because they're playing for the next contract.
They're trying to prove.
And then once they get the contract, they kind of decline a little bit. I mean, I don't think he's gonna be hitting 60 home runs consistently.
No.
But I mean, I think he'll go back to how he was, where like the strikeout rate kind of climbs up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But he's still hitting probably 40 something to 50 home runs.
And he was still an all-star starter.
Yeah, for sure.
Before this year,
But I don't think it's going to be like you're signing him for 13 years. You're getting 4 MVP seasons from him. Like I think he's going to kind of decline a little bit.
I think you may see the biggest contract in baseball.
I mean, this is going to be bigger than Mike Trout's, Shohei.
And also,
eventually.
this is like the first year he's been healthy throughout a majority of the season.
He hasn't missed very much time.
Not at all.
So like, yeah. So we'll see really, but he very well could get the biggest contract.
But what if the Yankees don't sign him? Like, what if the Yankees are so stubborn to where they don't do it?
I mean, if they do, the backlash they're going to get is...
how many teams are there? 30?
Yeah.
30.
Then 29 teams are all going to put in offers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
my
it's going to be like...
It's going to be like... You won't want to spend it.
Okay, besides the Reds. 28 teams. 28 teams. Well, no.
Yeah.
And MLB The Show, Aaron Judge goes to the Reds all the
time.
I don't know.
Are they trying to tell us something?
Maybe San Diego
We are
Studios.
contenders with Aaron Judge.
Immediately.
I would hope so.
Our pitching staff's not bad.
I mean, Nick Lodolo,
I mean, we
Hunter
just
Green.
traded 3 of our best pitchers.
But we have
Connor
Ashcraft.
Got a bunch of young talent.
We have a lot of potential.
Let's just you get Judge, give him a huge deal, and then on his 3rd year of his deal, that's when we'll be. That's the team we're looking for.
It won't be good for your first 2 seasons, but your third season,
season,
we're going to be
We are going to be so good. Jonathan India will battle through injuries next 2 years. But your 3rd year, he will be fine.
It's so
Unless
hard.
we don't trade him.
It's so hard to bank on prospects, though, because let's say you have 8 really good top 100 prospects, like the Reds are around that. I mean, like the odds are 2 or 3 of them are going to be good players at least.
Are going to be at least MLB playable.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you also think, what if all 8 are like insane?
Yes.
Then you're like, oh my word.
Then Castellini is going to have to sell the team.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to want to pay anybody.
No.
I'd sell the team anyway.
Yeah. Did you see that? Was it the Pirates? No, it was. I forget. It was some sport. Like, he took a picture with a fan and he like unbuttoned his jersey and it said like "sell the team." I think it was the Pirates.
It was.
It was the Pirates. And he took a picture with the owner and said like "sell the team." They were like looked at it and was like,
That's hilarious.
"It's funny." But yeah, if Aaron Judge like doesn't get extended by the Yankees, it's just gonna be like mayhem probably.
Oh my word! It's gonna be a bigger contract than Soto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
which like. I mean, could be really good or it could be really bad because, like, if he's injury plagued for the rest of his career, then that's going to be a bad contract.
It's such a hard spot, especially for the Yankees, because they're going to have to put in a lot of money towards him. They don't know what they're going to get because obviously they can't pay him for what they think is going to happen. They have to pay him for what he did this season.
Yeah. I mean, he's really had 2 stellar seasons. His rookie season and this season is when he's been like stellar, but he's been like injury prone and like still all-star level. The rest of that,
have they announced what they've offered him before?
No, I don't think so.
I know they avoided arbitration. It was like 19 mil.
Yeah.
Okay.
They met in the middle because it was like 17, and he was asking like 21.
Okay.
And they were willing to do 7. They were wanting to do 17, so they just met in the middle for the arbitration of 19.
So what I think is they're going to try to give him a 4 to 5 year contract, to where they don't have to give him like 10 years because, like we said, he's probably going to be injury prone.
Yep.
And he probably won't be good after the next 4 or 5 years, which I hope he is.
I do too.
But what you're basically thinking is we're going to get him for his prime the next 4 or 5 years, and then when he starts to fall off, we'll just give him to somebody else.
But,
you know what I mean?
Aaron Judge is going to want a lot of years and a lot of money.
Exactly.
Which I think if the Yankees give him anything under 8 years, I mean, he's not even going to entertain it.
Exactly. So that's why I think he has a chance to go to a different team. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
Where would he go?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. There's so many teams that if they could have Judge, they'd be so good. Like they'd be contenders. You gotta think the Yankees aren't gonna be they don't have the pitching staff to go very far. You know what I mean? And so what if he goes to? What if the Mets sign him?
The Mets.
Oh,
The Mets.
New York would
Yankees
explode.
fans.
That's right. That's New York. Oh my word, that would be hilarious.
That would be the biggest screw you to the Yankees.
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
That would be.
Or go to Boston.
Or Boston.
Oh my goodness,
Dude, goes to Boston.
That would be
Yankees
nuts.
fans would just like
Dude,
curl up
it
in
would
a
be
ball.
like burning jerseys, like death threats.
like
It would be
LeBron's
it
hype.
would be bad.
It would be
Yeah, so I think that'll be something to look into this offseason.
Oh yeah. I mean, like we look at last offseason and we see like Seager getting signed to a big deal. Marcus Stroman, Marcus Simeon and Stroman.
And Stroman.
Correa.
Yeah.
Okay, and look
Everybody
at
that
all
got
those guys
signed
here.
last year for big contracts, I've all declined.
Yeah, they're
had
underperforming.
disappointing seasons.
Exactly.
So I mean, last year was the year of the small teams, like the Tigers getting Javi Baez, and then
Well, that was stupid.
the Rangers and the Twins. And so I think this year, just because a lot of the teams see where they are now, they're not going to want to do that anymore.
No.
So
I feel like the last couple of years we've been seeing like double-digit year contracts, and I don't think we'll be seeing those anymore.
No.
I think we'll be seeing the 3 to 4.
Yeah, we're going to
200
see the
million
Carlos
years.
Correa deal, where it's going to be 3 to 4 player option.
More like NBA, like NFL type.
Exactly.
contracts.
Yeah. So I feel like, I mean, obviously you have to give like to the superstars,
Yeah,
like
but, like-
a young Trout, a young Harper, a young Soto, a young Tatis. That's why they all got those deals.
But like Joey Votto is getting paid. What do we give him? Like 10 something years after his MVP season, and he's just gotten worse.
But he's still been our best player.
Well, yeah, that's just because of how bad we are.
Yeah.
But I mean, we probably
Last year he had like an unreal
Yeah.
year. Not unreal, like an unreal like
For what he was doing.
for what he was expected to do. It was unreal what the numbers he put up. But he had that one run where he was like hit a home run every game.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 7 straight.
7. Yeah,
And the 8th one, it bounced off the wall.
I know. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
top the wall.
Oh, he would have had.
I
the
was
record.
watching that game live. I was so mad.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
You know who else is going to make this offseason more entertaining? Shohei.
Oh my word.
Because Shohei is
Okay, what was the
technically
thing with them like trade talks with Shohei? Like
Because
that kind of came out.
technically Shohei is coming up on a contract year too.
I know that.
So
Yeah, it's because the Angels, if they do re-sign Shohei Ohtani, they are going to be the worst team in the league
for
the next coming years
long
because
time.
like 80% of their salary is going to be towards Trout and Shohei.
Yep.
So that's why they were trying to trade him, get some value out of him. But like
was gonna
at the
be-
same time, if they don't re-sign him, they look stupid because he's one of the best players we've seen in our generation. I mean, he's throwing 102 mile an hour, and then hitting 2 home runs the next day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or in the same game.
Yeah,
I don't know. I do think he's a little. He had an insanely good year last year. I'll give him that.
Yep.
But this year he's been a little overrated. He should have not started in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
He's batting below 250,
Yep.
and he has a 4 ERA. Both those numbers are not All-Stars. The only reason he was an All-Star is because he's been able to do both.
Yeah, he
He hasn't had an unreal year both ways.
I feel like the baseball community has definitely been like leaning on him to be the next like Babe Ruth,
Yep.
and it's a lot of pressure on the kid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget that. Like, he's not super young.
Yeah, when people come over from other countries, they're
Yeah.
always older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's in his prime, like right now.
Yeah.
So you give him that big contract, which he's deserving of. But like you said, they would just handcuff them with him and Trout, and they've been doing that for the last 3 years. And
Yeah.
gotten nowhere.
Look how good it's worked. You know what I mean?
I mean, and
It's-
Trout's got like a back condition that's going to
He'll
linger
play him
with
for the rest of his,
Exactly.
rest of his career, which is just devastating.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think he'll be an Angel after his contract's up. They should have traded him. Is this his last year's contract?
I'm
Shohei's
sure.
or Trout's?
Shohei.
I'm pretty sure it's his last year.
Then they should have traded him.
Oh yeah,
But
I mean,
they wanted like
They were asking
more
a
than
hit.
one Soto.
Yeah, they were
guy.
asking a hit.
Well, yeah, because he's
Which makes
basically has the same
Yeah.
hitting numbers as Soto, but
Yeah.
he's
he
also a pitcher.
He's
pitcher.
also able to be your ace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just like you
Nobody
have to
has
gut
enough
your
for him.
entire farm system plus like 2 or 3 starters.
Yeah.
to
So,
trade for him. I guess they were probably like, well, let's wait a year and
Yeah,
sign him.
Yeah.
But another big trade that happened was Frankie Montas got traded to the Yankees. We just talked about it briefly with the Yankees, but I mean that helps their bullpen a lot. They also got Lou Trevino, who's not a bad closer either.
They needed bullpen help. They
Yeah.
need pitching because they have the offense, obviously Judge Stanton and all those guys. But they needed the pitching. So it's good that they help their team's needs.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much that.
I was a little confused with it though. Like, I understand you bring Montas in, right? Especially if you're making that postseason run, you need that starting pitching depth. But then they go out like not even like less than 5 minutes left in the trade deadline, they go out and trade Jordan Montgomery, who's in their pitching rotation, to the Cardinals.
Which is so odd because he's having a decent year.
He is, and
Good lefty.
he is, and they got Bader out of it, Harrison Bader out of it,
Which because they needed somebody to replace Gallo.
yes. But my thing is like pitching depth in the playoffs is so key to what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And you had with that rotation, if you still had Montgomery, it was gonna be Cole, Montas, Sevy if he was healthy, Cortez, Tyone, and Montgomery. And then you got Herman coming off. You can have him come in as a bullpen guy.
I mean, that's 6 starters. You maybe put 1 or 2 of those in the playoffs into your bullpen. Worst comes to worst, they're a long reliever, or they come in and give you an inning. We've seen Scherzer do it, and when you're a good pitcher, you're a good pitcher, and no matter what role you're put in, you're gonna get innings, you're gonna get outs. And so, if the Yankees would have kept all those guys, you got to think maybe Garrett Cole, gets shelled the first 2 innings, gives up 4 runs. You're like,
and then and
it's 4-3. It's like, okay, we'll bring in a guy who's been a starter for us, but like Montgomery, and we'll have him go 4 or 5 innings for us, be a really good long reliever.
That's what
and then
hurt
bring
him
in like
last
Clay
year.
Holmes or something later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's something they should have done. Which I don't understand why they got rid of Montgomery.
When I saw it happen, like I saw the Montas thing because they were really heavily in on Castillo and they were really heavily linked with Montas also, and even Pablo Lopez for the Marlins, they were linked with him too. But like we said, it doesn't make sense. You want to have that depth, but you're trading away your depth when it's probably it was definitely their biggest need. So it kind of, it didn't make sense to me personally.
It definitely makes the rotation more top heavy.
Yep.
And I think they're trying to bank on the fact that all they're gonna need is 2 good pitching performances in a series that they can rely on their offense.
Yep.
Just gonna outscore everybody.
Which against a team like say the Mets or the Braves it's gonna be or even Dodgers is gonna be difficult.
You're not gonna score on most of those teams. They've got great staffs.
Exactly.
I think the Dodgers had 4 of their starters were all-stars.
Yep, and they're still missing Walker Buehler too.
Exactly. And
Dustin May.
Dustin May is coming back.
Worst comes to worst, Dustin May is not gonna be a starter, but maybe he'll be like a 7th, 8th guy, or
or just come out the bullpen. Yeah, make things work for a couple innings.
Yeah, it's like the Dodgers 6th, 7th option is like the Yankees' 3rd.
Exactly.
And it's
exactly
very scary because the Dodgers have an offense too. I don't see where
they have the best shortstop in baseball.
I don't see where they don't win the World Series.
You could argue that they have one of if not the best first baseman also in the league.
Oh,
Freddie Freeman.
He's just always on base. He's a Juan Soto type player.
He's a pure hitter.
And then
he can play a great
Mookie Betts is no slouch either.
Yes,
exactly.
It's crazy when you're forgetting about Mookie Betts.
But
exactly.
Like 4 years ago, if you said Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman, and Mookie Betts would all be on the same team, along with Cody Bellinger, you'd be like, that team is guaranteed World Series champion.
And they should be.
Along with Kershaw, they still have Urias. Bueller,
Gonsolin.
Yeah,
Anderson.
They kept basically their entire bullpen, other than they lost Max Scherzer, but that's huge.
Which is crazy, because they lost Max Scherzer and they're still the best team in baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Which is nuts.
Exactly.
But what made that Jordan Montgomery trade a little bit more weird is before they just traded for Benintendi, so if he could replace Gallo, so they didn't really need Bader.
I forgot
because they had Benintendi, who's can literally do everything well.
Yes.
So who's their outfielders?
Judge, Stanton, or I guess maybe Stanton's
DH.
Judge, Benintendi.
But Stanton's also on IL right now.
Yeah, he is hurt. But when he's
back, he'll be DH.
And so Bader and Benintendi.
It's Bader, Benintendi, Judge, and they also got Hicks. Jordan Hicks.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Hicks hasn't really.
Can't Glaber play some?
Glaber's not a defender.
Glaber's not a. I'd keep him at second.
It's like he's a ghost out there on defense.
What's going on with their shortstop?
Oh, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Yeah.
They brought him in to be a good defensive shortstop, and he's been the exact opposite.
Yep. Yeah, it's been bad.
Pretty bad. Basically, what they did, they looked at Baseball Savant and was like, "Oh, his numbers are good," and then they're like, "Oh, wait, this guy can't play defense."
Yeah.
He had a good year. What was that? The Rangers. He had a really good year, probably banking on that, and hasn't been able to live up to it.
Another move I was surprised to see was the Didi Gregorius for the Phillies.
Oh yeah,
That was just out of
They
nowhere.
evade him, right?
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's not even on the Phillies anymore.
Yeah.
Which, that shocked me. I guess they were getting Segura back, but he's second base, right?
Yeah.
Segura's
So
second.
who's their shortstop now?
Boom.
Stout.
Stout. Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
He's been but he's been really good. So that
Yeah.
makes sense. But maybe and then
But, like,
Bohm's been playing unreal.
Bohm is
I think the Phillies are if Bryce Harper comes back, that's
Because
right.
they've been hot without Bryce.
Reese Hoskins too.
Like
Reese
they're-
Hoskins.
Reese
Hoskins,
Hoskins.
Castellanos,
Realmuto.
Have you
Castellanos.
seen Hoskins
Schwarber.
lately? He's hit like four home runs in
He's
the
been
last like 5 games or
Oh,
something.
he's
Like,
been
he's
nuts.
on a tear.
I mean, if
They're
Harper
finally
comes back,
showing like the team that they should have been the
got
last couple
Schwarber,
of
too.
years.
Yeah, literally, they got their outfield is Schwarber, Harper, Castellanos.
Yeah.
And who's
What else? What else?
On paper, the Phillies should be one of the best teams in baseball.
And they're starting to play like it.
They're starting,
It's their bullpen.
It's their
their
bullpen,
bullpen.
and Bohm.
and that's a thing.
Bohm just makes a lot of errors.
Yeah.
he's
He had that one game,
Oh,
that
that was
got the
hilarious.
publicity because
That
of
was
what he
so-
said.
yeah. He's been
know.
great.
But he's been serviceable on defense since, and
Yep.
he's batting 3-hole for the Phillies. He's literally batting ahead of Realmuto, Hoskins, Schwarber. Like Schwarber bats 1, but like he's
Well, he's batting before Castellanos.
Yeah, I mean he's batting. I mean like
Castellanos
that shows
is
how good
batting
he
5
is.
for him.
Yeah.
He's
That's-
batting 5.
yeah, which is just unreal.
And it's like it's come down to what we thought in the offseason is their pitching and their defense, and both has been pretty lackluster.
Yeah. But as of recent, they've been good, and look what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Plus, another big thing for them, they went out and got David Robertson from the Cubs.
Cubs, yeah, he's
And-
a great reliever.
That's it. That's the closer that they needed to shut the door.
Yeah, because they didn't have anybody who could
No.
shut the door. But see, that's the type of team you think would trade for Hader, not the Padres.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you can't rely on who was it? Corey Knable, I think.
I think it was him.
I think it was him. But he's horrible. He's
Yeah,
horrible.
He's really bad.
They were down to using Sir Anthony.
Yeah.
I was like, and he really wasn't getting the job done either.
They didn't have anybody who could really get the job.
No.
Yeah,
Not at all.
I mean, the fans were holding their breath in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Exactly. But now I feel Robertson's their guy.
It has to be their guy.
It has
they
to
have
be.
nobody else.
And plus, the Phillies also got Syndergaard, right?
They did.
Yeah.
They did get Syndergaard. What would be their 4? Their 5?
Yeah,
4.
So they've got
They
I mean,
got
he's not
Wheeler,
as good as he
Nola,
used to be.
Gibson, and then
Gibson.
Cindy.
Syndergaard.
Yeah. I mean, Syndergaard's not as good as he used to be, but he's still a very
I mean,
He's
your
serviceable.
four, that's fine.
serviceable,
He
solid
can
starting
give you some
pitcher.
good innings.
Especially like your fourth guy.
Yeah, and especially
Not
with their
bad.
offense, he can
Yeah,
give up
I mean-
3 runs. It's okay.
Plus, I mean, Nola's been really good too. He's
Oh,
been,
And Wheeler has picked it up a
Yeah,
ton
Wheeler's been
too.
good.
Yeah, they've got a great staff
yeah,
and great offense.
They're definitely built for the postseason.
yeah. I'm hoping they make a playoff run.
I'm really hoping to see them make a playoff
Yeah,
run too.
I want.
Because I feel
want
like
Harper.
I feel like once because when Harper there, like there's so much hype and everyone was like they're gonna be like the team to beat, and then they just haven't.
Harper was having another MVP type year
He
before
was.
he got hurt. I mean, he's really picked it up.
one of
these
the
past couple
smoothest
years.
left-handed swings in baseball.
Oh my
Oh.
word, he's so good. He's so good, and great defender too.
He
Yeah.
is.
You know what I mean? But he wasn't playing defense because of his arm. He used to get Tommy
Yeah,
John.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, as a DH, man, it's an okay DH.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Little
Yeah.
the MVP of last year.
yeah. I'm glad that Kyle Schwarber's having a good getting himself a good.
Everybody loves
because
Kyle
I watched him
Schwarber.
on the Cubs and he was obviously just electric because of his home run hitting, and then he kind of bounced around a couple teams. But I mean, he's been to 3 home run derbies, and he's hitting. I think he's first in the NL in home runs or second.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
something
he's
like
way
that.
up there. His Julys or Junes
Yeah.
the past couple years.
Every
Yeah.
The past
every
2
year.
years
He's always got a lightning
have
card.
been always have
He's
the lightning
from
card.
Youngstown, right?
I think
Middletown.
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 Literally, it's from right around us.
Yeah, so he's
which is crazy.
Yeah, it's cool to see.
Yeah, he went to Indiana, which is really cool.
Yeah, I like Schwarber.
Yeah, Schwarber, he's just a good guy too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Dude.
Reminds me of a Vogelback type guy.
We'll go back to like
Schwarber's lost weight though. He's slimmed down.
Oh yeah,
has.
yeah.
He really
Vogelback
has.
has gained weight.
no, but
Vogelback's just massive.
everyone's hating on Vogelback, but he went from
He's
second
good,
to
though.
home
But
and
he's
set. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
That's
he's
a
got
big
some.
boy move.
That is.
he was trucking.
Hey, if I'm a catcher, I'm not trying to
yeah,
tag
he
him.
can't stop.
He's not stopping. I'll tell you that.
He's going right to the dugout.
He's a good DH. I mean,
Yeah.
and the Mets,
It's
the
perfect
Mets
for
picked
them.
him up too. Like they didn't even
Perfect
give
for
up.
the
It's
Mets.
perfect for the Mets. Like even they got Darren Ruff too.
Yeah.
Like those
Ruff's good.
two.
Yeah.
Was it Ruff or Belt? It was Ruff, right?
Yeah,
think
I've
he's
always been a Darren Ruff guy.
Yeah.
But that's perfect. You got Vogelbach, who's your lefty, then you got Ruff, who's your righty DH. That you can. That just shows like their depth that they have now for that postseason run. If you need a bat, whatever the situation,
you got a lefty or a righty.
exactly.
So you got a righty in the mound, put in Vogelbach. You got a lefty, left and left's hard, throw in Ruff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that shows that they got what they needed
Yes.
for sure.
A lot. They're going to be good.
Yeah, they're gonna be very good.
So speaking of hometown teams, our Reds made a pretty big trade. Traded to Castillo. That was the biggest.
That's
but
the biggest.
Obviously, they
Huge.
got rid
That
of
was
like
sad.
Naquin and
You
Drury.
knew it was going to happen.
His last pitching performance was great by him.
Oh, and the way he went out,
With
like
a strikeout.
with the strikeout bases. I think the bases were loaded, but like strikes like 3 guys out to end the inning.
Yeah.
That in his last
And
start.
you knew when he walked off, you knew that was it.
Exactly, and that was the hardest part. Like watching that game, you knew heading into the game. Even the announcers knew it was like, we hope to, but we're not. We're pretty
The
certain.
funniest thing coming out of the trade deadline was when Ian Happ and Wilson
Yeah, I was
Contreras
just about to say that.
had the huge hug, and then like the
And
next
they're
day
still
they're
on the
just like,
team.
oh,
We're still here.
that was awkward.
Yeah. But the Reds got a haul from the Mariners. How do you say his name? Novelli Marte? Is that
Yeah, I went to the draft. His first Dragons
Stud.
game, hit 2 bombs.
stud? Levi Stout is good. Edwin Aurora is a top. He was one of their top guys, and then Andrew Moore is. Everyone was saying he's like a sleeper guy.
He's a
now.
sleeper.
Yeah, and so I mean, the Reds have a top 10, top 5, arguably farm system. I mean,
Adding on with Ella De La Cruz.
with Ella De La Cruz, Lodolo.
Hendricks.
Yeah. So I mean,
Chase Petty.
Yep.
yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that it sucks that the Reds had to trade Castillo and like got rid of their ace, but I'm just glad they got like a good return.
This is the first time I think that I've been happy that we've had to trade our good guys, but like we've gotten something good back.
Because usually we trade somebody and then like we're like, I don't even know who any of these people are, but like we got a haul for Castillo.
The fact that we were able to get 3 of their top 5 prospects
It was huge.
Well,
and it was number 1, number 3, and number 5.
Well, if you look at the Reds, they won 4 out of their last 6 series.
Yeah.
they've
And
been
then
not doing
They've
terrible.
played 500 baseball since their 3-22 start.
Exactly.
They're they lost 20 games in a row.
Yeah.
But they're not a bad team.
That start of the season doesn't
Define it,
define
or-
exactly.
Yeah.
But the scary thing, though, is India's year this past year. He's been
Injury-prone.
extremely injury-prone. And did you
Same with
see that?
Stevenson.
Yeah, it's Stevenson as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
he just had
You see-
shoulder surgery.
Yeah,
Stevenson
and
did, but-
India just had to get not care flight, but he had to get in a helicopter and flown because he couldn't fly with the team because his leg is swollen.
Yeah.
And he had to drive back from Iowa to
Cincinnati. Yeah.
which is kind of
That
scary.
happened. That happened during the Field of Dreams game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he fouled
Fouled a ball.
Fouled it all.
Yeah, and I saw someone came in for him. I can't remember off the top of my
It was
head.
Reynolds, right?
I
Yeah,
think.
right.
but he did fine.
Yeah, he's been better than what I thought he would be too.
Yeah, I mean, he's driven like our only.
I thought
runs.
we'd trade Solano too. I figured
I knew we weren't going to trade Solano just because of his presence in the locker room.
That's
A lot of young players say I've learned so much from him.
Yeah,
and you
it
need
was a good
that.
signing.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
And I mean, in like the other deals, I forget, but we got like Spencer Steer, who's not a bad like second baseman.
Yeah.
And then like at the very beginning of the season, we traded for Chase Petty, who's like a really young right-handed pitcher who
Connor
could be
Phillips,
really
too.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we drafted like Cam Collier, who's pretty solid, 18-year-old guy.
He's 17.
17.
He's 17 years old.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah, because he
if
couldn't sign his contract.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he could develop, that would be a great.
He's supposed to be a senior in high school this year. That's
Yeah.
what he was supposed to be, and
'Cause
he skipped a year
he skipped
and
a
then
year,
went straight to JUCO,
and then
which is
balled out of
unreal.
JUCO. And then I
That's a
don't
really
know
good
much
pick.
about our other picks because I didn't really watch too much.
Yeah,
of it.
well,
But
no, our-
I think our what was it like their
Compensation.
Yeah, I think he was pretty good.
South Stewart. That's who we got
Yeah.
late first round.
Yeah.
He's really good. He was going to Vandy, so I mean he was
Yeah.
he was a top
Yeah, he's
third
been to
baseman
Vandy.
in the 22 class. So I mean that was a great pick.
So yeah, as long as the Reds don't trade everybody, they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, they've got young studs.
We have direction now, which
Yes.
I'm happy about.
It's the first
We're
time.
not just like bad and we're just like trading guys for nothing. Like we
Yeah.
have a good plethora of young guys who could make an impact for a team if they develop how they
Cam
should.
Collier could be a Juan Soto type guy.
Yeah,
Be in the MLB at like 19, 20 years
Yeah.
old and get a huge contract by 23.
exactly. So if everything like works out and we just don't implode, then we could. I'm not gonna say like we're gonna make the playoffs or anything, but we'll be a respectable.
We won't be as bad as we were this
We're
year.
no longer the worst team in baseball. It's the Royals, right?
Yeah, we're third in the division.
Yeah.
Which is
They're
nuts.
right behind the Cardinals and the Brewers.
Not right behind, but we're behind.
We're behind them.
We're behind them.
A couple miles.
We're like
Well, 'cause
15
who else? The
games back, but
Pirates?
we're
The
fine.
Pirates.
and the Cubs, man. We're
Pirates
better
and
than them.
Cubs are bad.
This is
Our
a
division
huge.
sucks.
This is
You
a
got-
huge
you got-
series this weekend.
Our
with the
division's
Cubs.
terrible.
Huge.
You
Like,
got the
are-
Brewers and Cardinals duking it out, and then you get 3 teams that are in the bottom 10.
Yeah.
all 3 teams going through like massive rebuilds.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, if we keep all of our guys and like the Pirates do, like that could be a good rivalry because the Pirates infield is going to be
Brian
filthy.
Hayes.
Brian Hayes,
O'Neill Cruz.
Tamar
Oh my
Johnson.
goodness.
Tamar Johnson.
Yeah.
But their infield the next year could be second baseman Tamar Johnson, shortstop O'Neill Cruz, third baseman Brian
Yeah,
Hayes.
and then we could have like Ellie at like third, like Marte, and then India.
Jose Barrera.
And
too.
Barrera.
Yeah.
We're gonna put Barrera.
Yeah,
Which he's a year this year, but like I've seen people say,
He's
like
come off of it.
India started off bad as well his rookie year too, and he ended up winning rookie of the year.
switch hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ella De La Cruz is switch hitter.
Yeah.
Ella De La Cruz is literally insane.
And it's like you look at a lot of switch hitters. Their OPS is high on like let's say the left side, but it's lower on the right side. His is consistently staying around the 800, 900
On
mark.
both sides.
And that's so hard to do with like his defense is like above replacement level too.
Yep.
Like he's not like a great defender, but he's gonna make the plays.
Yeah, no, we'll put Marte at short, him at third.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah, they have him listed here as a third baseman / shortstop.
Yeah, so he can play both.
But I mean he's 6'5", so if needed, we could put him in the outfield.
Exactly.
We definitely
Athletic.
need to move
still got
Tyler
Matt
Stevenson to first
McLean
base.
too.
Tyler Stevens. Yeah.
Matt McLean.
But see,
He's our third.
I
Yeah,
never,
third best
I
prospect.
never thought we should have traded Barnhart.
Tucker.
I think we traded him.
Tucker.
He's a Gold Glove, and Stevenson had one. It was his rookie year, and he had a good year. You never know how rookies do after their first year.
I just think he is so worried about getting injured and focusing so much on catching that it's hurting his hitting and his overall performance. I say like, we need to have him
Play
be our
first.
everyday first. Joey Votto be DH.
Yeah,
I like that.
or switch them. Have one game DH, next game first base.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with that. Stevenson should not be a catcher because he's such a good hitter.
Yes.
and he's getting hurt catching.
He's a good first baseman too.
Exactly,
He
yeah.
makes some tough.
He can
picks.
play. He can make some plays there. He's serviceable, like we
Yeah.
said. So I think they do need to get a catcher type, a real catcher,
Well,
like a Tucker Barnhart type
What was
player.
the catcher you were saying that?
We got Chris Oakey and then Matt Nelson, who are 2 of our really good young guys coming up from the minors. So, I mean, this year we might sign like an older veteran type guy just to fill
just
the
to
gap
fill
of a
in.
year because I think Oakey's in AAA or AA, and then Matt Nelson's at the Dragons. So
Yeah, he's a A+. Yeah, he's projected to be like in the league in 2024.
yeah.
So yeah, a 1 year gap would probably be.
He's a good player, really good behind the plate. His hitting could use some work, but like
That's how every catcher is.
you don't really need a catcher to get like a 700 OPS as long as
Most catchers don't.
No.
I
I mean,
you
JT Realmuto's the
CJT,
And
Salvi Perez,
Contreras.
yeah.
Yeah, but they're not like insanely good defensive catchers.
Yeah,
Usually, if you have an insanely good, besides for the Phillies one, Realmuto,
He's the
really
best
good at
catcher
both.
in the league.
Yeah, he's really good at both.
yeah. Yadier Molina is the best defensive catcher.
Okay, besides Yachty's ridiculous. He
Yachty's.
drives me nuts.
I don't even think you should even
Is
try
he
to
gonna
steal
retire?
second.
Like, he's
This
like
is
Him and Albert are done after this year.
But
Maybe
then Miguel
Wainwright.
And
Cabrera's,
Wainwright, yeah.
Miguel Cabrera's playing another year. Did you see that?
Is he
Is he?
actually?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's going to fill out the rest of his contract.
Good.
That's good.
He's a great. I love
One
Miguel
thing-
Cabrera. He's been great for
One thing
baseball.
I forgot about, like the Nationals. So like they got Abrams, who was good. Robert Hassel was good. They also drafted Elijah Green. So like Elijah Green could very well be just a replacement for Juan Soto because he's that guy.
Yeah.
Elijah Green is a stud. I thought he should have gone number 1. I've said this from the very beginning. When you look at him, he is 6'5". Okay, 6'5". Runs a 5'9" 60.
Yeah,
5'9". Really fast is 6'6". A 5'9". He's below 6. That is like the fastest recorded high school 60 ever. Right, and he's 6'5". His exit velo is in the mid 105, 106. I saw a video where the wind it was hailing, raining, hailing. Wind was blowing 30 miles an hour in at IMG, and he hit the ball 420 feet out. That's unreal. I mean, you don't see that out of every high schooler. He's 18 years old.
Yeah, another young guy just like that for the Yankees, Jason Dominguez.
Yeah, which he might. I already might have get traded.
In the
he's a
Futures game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if they were gonna get Soto, they were gonna have to trade him.
Yeah,
because they were gonna have to deplete their entire farm system, which they weren't willing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they still have
Dominguez is
Volpe.
Yeah,
He's really good.
Dominguez is going to be really good.
I can't wait to see him.
The Yankees farm system is always so good. I feel like for the last
every big market team is. Every big market team is.
Because like
Dodgers
are easily the top.
Dodgers always have the best.
That's why I think we
the
should
Red
have
Sox isn't bad either.
No.
That's why I think we should have an international draft, because you see the big teams like Boston, New York, L.A. They're spending a lot of money on the best international players.
Yeah.
But then you have teams like the Athletics, the Pirates, the Reds, smaller teams. Like, they can still spend some money, but they're not going to get the top international prospects because they don't have the money.
Exactly.
So yeah, the Reds have the 17th overall prospect. That's what Marte is. He's 17.
Really? He's that good?
Yeah.
Why is he with the Dragons then? Why is he in single A?
They have over Brett Beatty.
Oh.
You like him in
I
the
love
show.
Brett Beatty. He's so good now with the show.
Marcio Luciano is probably my favorite shortstop out of the top 100 for the Giants.
Really?
He's
Meyer's
got a
good
really
too.
good
Marcelo
arm.
Meyer, the guy for the Red Sox.
Really good arm.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see the future. The future's very
for sure.
bright.
It is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Francisco Alvarez is like. Have you seen some of his stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Just monster.
Yeah.
And then the Orioles have 2 top 5 guys.
Yeah, which is crazy because they just had the #1 last year.
Yeah.
And now he's
Badly.
if
And
he
then
would
they
have had the
just
season he's
drafted
having right
Jackson
now
Holiday,
at the start
too.
of the year. Yeah.
Do you think they should have drafted Jackson Holiday? Or you think they should have went with Drew Jones?
Definitely not Holiday. Because they literally took they signed Vandy shortstop in the 17th round.
And they have Gunnar.
For $1 million.
And they have Gunnar.
Exactly. They definitely should have not. Holiday, yes, he had a great high school season, but he wasn't like a huge draft like he was a first round guy before. Like, yeah, he had a good high school season, but every one of those guys had
He just broke the record for
season.
most hits in a season.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, but he didn't. He put it in a normal high school. Like Elijah Green was playing at IMG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those type of guys weren't playing at a normal high school. Like I mean, I get it. He probably played at the biggest high school in whatever state he's from, or Oklahoma, and like I get he broke Romeo Toad's records or whatever. But I still think I don't know about Drew Jones either.
I mean,
Obviously, he's already hurt.
Yeah, he had
so
shoulder surgery.
that's why I always said Elijah Green won. And that's why I've always said it because I mean Jackson Holiday's good or whatever. He looks really young. He literally looks like a baby.
I know.
And then Tamar's really good. The only problem with him is he's really small. He's like a Jose Altuve
he's
type,
so short.
really short player.
What team got Kumar Rocker?
Rangers.
It was
Rangers.
So
The
they have-
Rangers got insane
So they
pitching.
have
Yeah.
Leiter and Kumar.
And nobody talks about their 4th round pick in Brock Porter. He hit 100 miles an hour this year in high school. He played for the #1 high school team in the nation. They were better than IMG, right? They had an undefeated season. He didn't lose a game pitching, and he hit 100 miles an hour.
Jeez.
And I think it was the regional finals or the state semi. He threw a no-no. I mean, they're facing like amazing
That's
teams.
crazy.
And then he went the 4th round. He's supposed to go first round, and they got him in the 4th. Their pitching staff
That's
in the
good.
next couple of years is going to be
And they got Simeon
unreal.
and Adolis Garcia.
And then you got Leiter, Kumar, Brock Porter. I mean,
Leiter and Kumar together is gonna be sweet.
that's
Just
that's
because
really
they're both-
cool. I'm glad they did that. That was sick.
That's cool.
Yeah, I felt bad for Kumar
Last year,
Yeah, I know that was
the
unfortunate.
Mets messed him over.
Yeah, but I mean, he went from pick 10 to 3. So.
Yes, I mean, I guess
He
it
got
worked
more-
out for him.
He got
but-
more money. He's playing with his best friend, probably. So
Yeah, so that was cool.
Who was the
and I saw
guy?
Jack Leiter was really excited to get him
Yeah,
too, which
I'm
is
sure
good
he
to know that
was.
they like.
Have you seen him in the
Joe
minors?
each other.
Jack
Dude,
Leiter?
he's ridiculous.
He's unreal.
He's like
I knew he was from. Like I watched him in the College World Series. He was filthy.
carving him up.
I know.
He looks like the real deal,
Yeah.
man.
Didn't he
looks like the
throw
real-
like 2 no-hitters in the college season? That he
Yeah,
played?
yeah, he did.
That 1-2 punch with him in Morocco was like unhittable. It was
Really
Yeah, like if
ridiculous.
you throw 1 no-hitter in your career, you're like,
I still think the greatest pitching performance ever was Kumar's 19 strikeout no hitter.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is 19 strikeouts alone in high school ball is
It's
crazy.
Yeah.
in college, 19 strikeouts is like good for 3 games. You know, you had 19 strikeouts in 3 games. Like, wow, that's really good. You know what I mean? But
Who was that against? Do you know?
Florida, I think, right?
And they're a good baseball.
And they're a
Florida's
great baseball school. And I mean, he just made them look like they were terrible.
Yeah.
He made them look like a Division II school.
Yeah.
Struck out 19 of them.
It's ridiculous. Who was the guy that had Tommy John like this past season, but it got picked like in the top like 10?
Oh,
15?
Dylan Lesko. So Dylan Lesko, he was the number 1 pitching prospect, and then blew out his arm in his last start of high school ball.
Yeah.
And I think who took him? I forget who took him.
forget.
But I mean, he's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
His if you look him up, his changeup, it's better. It's Castillo or better than Castillo level.
It's got that out.
Oh my word! It just dives. I mean, he does 98, 99 too. So it's not like he's basically like Castillo type guy. Is what I see him as.
It's crazy when you're
I thought the Reds were potentially going to get him.
He was projected
I
to
saw
kind
a
of go to the
couple
Reds.
mocks where he was around that area. But I'm happy with Cam Coley.
It's crazy when you casually mention like, oh, he throws 98.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like his main like pitching thing is his changeup and his off speed, but he'll flip it in there at 98, 99 every once in a while, you know.
Yeah.
That's why baseball is the hardest sport you can play.
Yeah, you can't just pick it up.
Yeah, and like you have to have so many reps, and even then, I mean, you're getting out 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So and that's Hall of Fame level.
Yeah,
Getting out 7 out of 10 times. That's Hall of Fame. Like if you bat 300 for your career, that's Hall of Fame level. You're going in the Hall of Fame.
yeah. I was talking to Stacey. It's like if you go out there and like shoot free throws and you make 3 out of 10, you're not. On
That's what's worse than Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're not.
That's literally
playing
worse than
on the
Shaquille
team.
O'Neal.
But in baseball, you're doing. Yeah.
But in baseball, you're a Hall of Famer. That just shows the difference between.
Yeah. But yeah, in the draft, one of your buddies got picked.
Yeah, he did. 2nd round to the Marlins, which is sweet. Played on the travel team with them. That was really cool to see.
Yeah.
So that was pretty dope. Supposed to go to Louisville, but
And
ended up going to the Marlins.
I can't wait to use your card in MLB The Show.
My card. that would be cool.
And the Marlins have like a really good pitching rotation as it is.
Yeah, which I saw some of their fans were mad. Like why? Like they picked like 5 more pitchers, which they already have insane
But
pitching. With
they-
Cabrera.
But they were like
Insane.
trying to do like a fire sale, like at the
They are-
deadline, but like potentially.
They are such a good pitching like development program.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Sandy, Edward Cabrera.
Jose Fernandez.
they know
Pablo Lopez.
they know
Jose
something about
Fernandez.
the sinker. I mean, every pitcher they have has
Has
a
a-
nasty
I
sinker.
mean, gross. It's so good. It's unhittable, and it'll be the show.
yeah. That's when Edward Cabrera is my enemy.
That's when you know he's
Yeah,
good.
that's when you know they're good. When their sinker is unhittable, and it'll be the
Who
show.
is it? Jorge Lopez, I think. I have his card, and there's like 99, like 100 mile per hour sinker.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous. It's better. It's literally like it's better than a 2-seam, but it's as fast as a 4-seam.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
I saw I was watching the King of JUCO, and he was, he could like
I love that
use
guy.
a pitching machine or whatever. So he went up against Emmanuel. It was Emmanuel Clase, and first pitch 102 cutter. He was like, "What the heck am I supposed to do?" He literally was like, "I don't know."
And if you don't hit barrel, you're breaking your hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I saw that he didn't hit the barrel like at all, and he had to quit because his hands were hurting so bad.
He got almost sorted, and he broke his bat like multiple times. It was bad. But it's just crazy. I mean, he's a decent, a pretty good, decent guy. I mean, he had a good JUCO career and stuff, and he's going to get, you can't even touch him.
Yeah, he's just not even touchable.
Yeah. I just can't imagine a 102 cutter. It's just mind blowing.
Oh my
Nuts.
gosh.
Absolutely nuts.
That's what I'm saying. If I played baseball, I would strike out every time because I would just swing at every pitch.
Oh yeah.
Because the ball
so
would be
hard.
this way, and then I'd swing and it would be on my knees. I'm like, what?
What?
Yeah. What just happened?
Yeah.
So I guess it's good. I didn't play baseball very long. I tried to make it come
Trust me,
back.
I wasn't a hitter at all. I was just a pitcher.
Well, I was a lefty, and I still couldn't pitch. I was only a good first baseman.
Yeah.
But I tried to come back, but COVID.
COVID ruined the comeback.
Man.
COVID
Wasn't
ruined
Zach
the
going to play too?
Yeah, Weave, you're not a baseball player. I'm sorry.
Huh.
Definitely not a baseball player.
Oh.
You about killed some people during pitch and catch.
Yes, he did. He did.
All right. Enough bashing Weave.
He gets enough.
Yeah,
He'll be on later.
Yeah, he'll be on later. He gets enough crap from all of us. Let's do some World Series predictions while we're at it.
All right.
I mean, we've kind of talked about the Padres, Dodgers, Yankees. We didn't mention the Astros, though.
Because I don't want to mention the Astros.
I
That's
know.
the thing. I don't want to talk about them. Because it makes me so mad that they're good.
But they're good.
As
It's
much
like
as you don't want to
every
hear
year,
it,
though.
I know.
It's like, all right, they lose Correa. They're still insane.
they just bring up Jeremy Pena.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just bringing a casual top 10 shortstop prospect.
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
Still have Altuve. Jordan Alvarez has
Jordan
been
Alvarez.
potential
Kyle
like
Tucker.
like
I
MV-
love
MVP
Kyle
like
Tucker.
MVP.
They got
level.
Trey Mancini.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that
traded
was
for
great-
Mancini. He's been
great.
good.
And like Verlander as their like fourth.
Verlander should win the Cy Young.
He's the leader for
He should win
NL
the Cy
Cy
Young.
Young.
His Cy Young, he won with the Tigers. He has better statistics this year than he did then.
Really?
He's literally 39 years old.
Yeah.
And they have that one pitcher that's the weirdest release I've ever seen.
Oh,
Is that
The human
Valdez or
rainbow?
Garcia?
yeah.
Is that Valdez or Garcia?
I think it's
turns,
Valdez.
like kicks his leg, does a little like baby
Oh, no, yeah,
action,
yep.
and then throws the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could take a nap watching.
Oh,
Yeah.
for real. Yeah, but I don't think the Yankees will make the World Series.
I don't
That's
either.
my hot take.
So
I guess I don't know if it's that hot because I mean it's really.
I
You
think-
can say
I
that.
think
Like,
this is
it's
the
it's
Yankees
getting
year.
less hot
No.
because of their losing streak, probably.
The playoffs comes down to pitching. They don't have the depth as some teams do.
think-
Who do you have going
I
out
agree.
of the AL then?
I have more of the Mets making the World Series than the Yankees. Personally speaking, I think that
Yep,
Yeah.
Mets are in NL.
That's what I thought.
so
So as of right now, the standings, just getting in the playoffs, the division leaders are Yankees, Cleveland, and Houston, and the wild card teams are Seattle, Toronto, and Baltimore.
Okay.
That's in the AL, and
That's
then
AL.
in the NL, it's Mets, Dodgers, St. Louis are the division leaders, and the wild card is Braves, Phillies, Padres. So
Wow.
so the NL wild card game is going to be really
Insane.
good because the Padres are 64 and 51, the Phillies are 63 and 49, and then the Braves are 67 and 46. So they're all like right.
Right.
All
next
right
to each
there.
other.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like the Braves a lot.
Yeah, I was
still.
about to say. I know we're doing our predictions, and I was gonna say Braves. I think Braves.
Yeah.
They made a lot of moves
Yeah.
to. I mean, they got Iglesias.
Yeah, it was just really good.
And I mean, they
Sure
lost
up,
obviously lost Freddie Freeman, but they got Matt
They got
Olson,
Matt Olson,
who's been
He's
pretty
been
good.
good.
It's been okay.
And then Dansby's been
Dansby's
one
having
of
a
the better
great-
shortstops.
They're not even. They don't even have Ozzy right now. Ozzy
Yeah,
Alvarez.
Ozzy's been out. Then they have
Mike.
Ozuna still, right?
Yep.
Acuna.
And then they brought up Michael Harris, and he has been Michael Harris.
Acuna's back.
Austin Riley.
Austin
That's what we're going
Riley.
to talk about
Yes.
right now. Is
Yeah.
Austin Riley.
He had an insane month of July.
He is really good. I've always
Well
said that he's really good. And he got the contract he,
just
deserves.
needed it to click. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
he
always at the edge there, and you
and
just
it's
see it.
finally clicked,
yeah.
and you can see when it clicks what happens. He
Yes.
is unreal. He
yeah.
is going to be very good.
I mean, his walk rate has increased a bunch just because pitchers don't want to throw it to him.
No.
Like, you can have first base.
Yeah, like-
Don't hit it over the wall.
Yeah.
What the Braves have done well is they've locked up Ozzy, Acuna,
Riley.
Austin Riley, all their key guys for like 10 years. So their team is going to be this team for a while.
Acuna's deal looks really bad now. We're seeing all these other deals.
Mm-hmm.
He could be getting a lot more.
Yeah.
than
a
he just-
ton more.
yeah.
You know, it could be interesting because actually, I'm pretty sure Dansby's a free agent this coming year.
Probably.
Dansby and Trey Turner.
Exactly. So I could see almost the Braves picking up Turner instead of Dansby.
I was about to say I could see a full switch. Dansby going out west, and
That very well could happen.
Trey Turner
because
coming
Turner
back.
wanted to come back.
Yeah,
Turner said he wants
to be over here,
come back
on the East Coast.
On the East Coast. So that is a great point. Oh my goodness!
Then
You
they
don't
would
think
be probably
about that.
World Series favorites.
They'd pick up literally the best shortstop in baseball, and there's no doubt about that. I don't want to hear any other takes. Trey Turner is by far the best shortstop.
He
in
hit
baseball.
a hard. I was watching the other day. He hit a hard ground ball to third base. The third baseman got it, took one step, and then had to rush his throw because Trey Turner was already at first.
Exactly.
So he's literally, when you think of a 5'2" guy, it's Trey Turner, right? So he's 99 speed in the show, right? So he's got max speed, right?
He's the perfect card.
He is the perfect card. He has diamond defense, right? He's really good at defense. He hits 20 to 30 bombs a year, which is really good for a shortstop.
Yeah.
Right?
Let
And his
alone his
batting average is
speed.
318. What else are you looking for? You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear any of that crap about like other shortstops. Like, he is by far the best shortstop in baseball, and that he will get a tremendous amount of money this next year.
Oh yeah, he
A
will.
lot of money.
One of the players that I think has kind of been I guess not really sneaky good, but been a real bright spot for the Braves is Spencer Strider.
Yes.
He's a
Lord.
rookie.
Right.
He's probably going to win NL Rookie of the Year, I would assume.
He should.
Pitching 311, is 6'4". He's won 6 games, lost 4, and is 138 strikeouts. But like I watched him like live play the Reds. Oh my gosh, the Reds threw that one hit against him.
Yeah,
I mean,
as a rookie,
Because he's throwing over 100.
Oh yeah, he's
Easy.
consistently getting 98 to like 101. Like he's
And
getting,
we're forgetting this guy has one of the best mustaches in baseball.
Oh my
100%.
word, he's
Goodness.
literally
100%.
such a good mustache.
Right there with
Yeah.
Matt Carpenter.
and
yeah.
Nestor.
Oh, and Dirty Nestor, yeah. Yeah, so that
Just a caterpillar on the list.
and
Yeah.
then also
He's a stud.
the Braves have a really good pitching staff. I think
They do.
Kyle Wright is tremendously underrated.
I do too.
I think he's really underrated. I think he is a 2-3
Kyle Wright.
rotation type of guy.
Ian Anderson too.
Yeah.
He
Very
has
good.
been very. Ian Anderson has not been very good though this year. That's the
No,
only
but like
downside.
I mean, last year he kind of picked it up towards the end.
Yes.
and just like if he
That's
just
all you
gets
need.
hot for the last 2 starts,
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
The other one you gotta remember Max Fried.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Fried,
yeah.
Max
He is-
Fried
He's
too.
concussion
Really
right
good.
now, but
Yeah, he's got a
he's
concussion.
got a
but-
concussion right now.
They
But
got Kenley Jansen too in the bullpen, right?
exactly.
Yes, but he's been having some heart.
he was. I think that's what the Dodgers got rid of him. He
But
was
Fried's like I watched like there's like in-game interviews sometime. Like Fried's like a funny like good dude.
he is.
Yeah.
Like he's like
He's 10-4 this year. I saw.
Yeah.
It was
So
really
they
good.
got
They got-
Fried, they got Wright,
Anderson.
Anderson, Spencer Strider. They went out and got Jake Odorizzi from
yeah,
Houston.
That was big.
And then they got Iglesias as their closer.
Iglesias.
I feel like I'm missing someone. now.
Matzik.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I
He's
feel
been
like
hurt, but
I
he
feel like
just
I'm
came
missing
back.
a starter for them though. I don't know. I know.
Well, those guys you named are really good anyway.
I don't know, but that's what I mean. They have like
Yeah.
the
yeah
depth.
they can be the
Pull
number
it
one
off.
anywhere else. Yeah,
Yeah.
What's cool is Spencer Strider's actually from Columbus.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did not
he's
know
from
that.
Ohio.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mustaches from Ohio are really good.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad you guys shaved them.
I know. This will be the first one without, probably. Without mine, at least.
Yesterday.
Yeah, but this one would be
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh, that's true.
So, yeah, I think in the NL it's the Dodgers and the Braves.
yeah.
I think I
don't
think
see
Or the
I
Mets.
think
I
the Mets also could too.
Yeah,
it's
you
between
have to throw
those.
the Mets
one
in
of
there
those
with that
three.
staff.
It's between those 3.
And then in the NL.
In the
Or the AL. Astros.
Astros, Yankees.
And that's probably it.
I think
That's
whoever,
probably
whoever
it.
comes out of the NL, I think wins the World Series.
I think
You got a lot tougher of a path
Yeah.
through the NL in my
Subway Series, World Series.
That's what
Oh.
you're calling?
the World Series odds currently are
That's my
Dodgers at plus 350, Yankees at plus 425, Astros plus 450, Mets plus 500, and then Padres plus 1100. So those are the top 5.
So
Are the Reds on
The Reds are plus how many zeros is that? 200,000.
Oh, hey.
No, I saw the
bet on 'em
funniest
now.
stat. It was for like the Royals. It might be. It was like they had like plus like 1 million odds or something like win the division or something. It was like embarrassing. I was like, why would you even show that?
Dude, but like if you bet $1 on that,
Yeah,
I could-
You're,
You bet $2 on
you're
that.
bank. But the Braves have plus 1,200, so they're below the Padres and Vegas things. I just think without Tatis,
I feel like a team that could be like sneaky in the AL is, and I know they're going through a little bit of rough patches right now, but I still think Toronto could do something. I
You
still
just
think
can't
they could.
count that offense.
Exactly, and they got some stuff to work out, but bringing in Witt helped.
yeah, Vlad really came down to earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bichette hasn't been the same either, but I feel like they could be that sleeper team though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good.
it
That's a
could
good take. That's a really good.
I
Take.
feel like that could be like a sleeper that potentially makes the makes
They,
the
Yeah,
run.
they definitely have to have a.
They do.
They have to-
Manoa,
They have to have a good draw in the first round.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
They've got to play well,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So,
I think the Cardinals could potentially make a little bit of a run.
I think they could.
They're so annoying.
Yeah.
I've never been
because they're just
a believer
always
in the
like
Cardinals.
I know, but they always just seem to be good. Like
Yeah.
Paul
Always-
Goldschmidt's
they're
been
always
really
there.
good.
Goldschmidt's having an unreal year. I
Yeah.
love Goldschmidt and Arenado.
Their pitching probably isn't the best, but I mean I
Get
think
it done.
yeah.
They got probably one of the better closers in the league too, Ryan Helsley.
Yeah,
he
Helsley's
goes
a
ga-
beast.
I
He
had
throws
never
gas.
seen him until I watched the All-Star game and first pitch 1 of 3. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Where did this guy come from?
Yeah, I watched a video. He threw like 7 pitches all over 102 mile an hour.
Yes.
In a
Unreal.
row.
In a row too.
Unreal.
Oh man.
And it looks like he's doing it effortlessly too.
Oh, I know.
His wind up and everything. It's just so smooth.
And they got a perfect setup guy too in Gallegos.
Yeah.
Giovanni Gallegos. So their bullpen's set.
Yeah, they've got.
It's just a matter of their starting pitching, and I think Montgomery's going to help that a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what
I think they can make a little bit of a run. I don't think they're going to win the World Series, but I think they'll make a run.
So, your prediction: Subway Series.
So that's gonna be my hot take. Subway
Subway
Series.
Series.
I think that could happen.
I'll do my hot take. I think Toronto's going to be that dark horse team, but I think it'll be Astros Braves.
I think it would be Astros and Dodgers.
I got Dodgers and Yankees. I think a lot of people are underrating the Yankees and just they're looking beyond their offensive capabilities. But I think if they get hot at the right time,
They get hot. They're hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's really like there's 5, 6 teams really that it could be any way. I mean, 4 in the NL and 2 in the
Yeah.
NL.
Exactly. I mean, and the Phillies too. That's another dark horse. So you don't know. There's just a lot.
Yeah.
There's a
There's
lot.
a lot.
It's competitive. I feel like down the stretch, like it usually gets pretty competitive. Like at least last year, I feel like it was really competitive.
September, October baseball.
It's
a different game.
It's so good.
It's a different game.
I'm excited.
Very excited. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be watching as much baseball because football's starting, but I'll still watch like the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's go Bears.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
They're not gonna win a game.
All right,
Lions will have a better record than them.
But yeah.
Did you see that thing? I showed you that one thing. It was about like when the Roquan Smith requesting a trade, and it was like a skit, and he was like, "You have continuously been a worse team, but you have the Lions in your division. That doesn't make any sense." He was like, "Stop being mean." That was funny.
It's hilarious.
All right, we got anything else? Any other hot takes?
I
I think we're good.
think we covered them.
Yeah.
Watch for the Phillies, though. I can
watch
see
the
that one
Phillies.
too. So.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. A little baseball for you, different than our usual sports talking. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a good rest of your day.